Hello, I hope your Saturday is going good. And just before I get into my presentation, I'd like to say sorry if you see me looking in between both my monitors. I have two, so if you see me looking there, I'm just trying to make sure that I read everything that I want to read. And getting into it, you asked us to watch "Do the Right Thing," made in 1989, the whole movie. And after that, you asked us to watch NWA Straight Outta Compton, and then Tupac's well, both of those are music videos. The NWA Straight Outta Compton and Tupac's Trapped, both music videos. And going back to Do the Right Thing, the questions you asked us was, how is neighborhood diversity depicted, and how do the characters view the diversity in the neighborhood? Um, I say that the neighborhood diversity is I say it's kind of split in between the two. Some people really love how there's a bunch of different cultures, bunch of different people, and some people are conflicted and don't like it. And then I enjoy the way how the film incorporates so many different races, because that was the truth. There was Italians, there was African Americans, there was Puerto Ricans and Koreans, and I think people seem to forget that it wasn't only African Americans living there, and that there was um, a lot of Puerto Ricans, and that all these different communities really just coexisted in the same small neighborhood. And then I enjoyed the way that they showed the diversity through the various characters, that they had their language and their traditions and their customs, as well as the way you could see they interacted with people. I forget what part of the movie it was, but there was a group of, I'm assuming, Puerto Rican children sitting there talking to each other, and they listened to they had their radio right behind them, and it was playing Puerto Rican music. And then it pans to another shot where I think it was like maybe the neighbors, or like a neighborhood down. It was African American children, and they were sitting there bumping their music, and it just showed just how many different cultures there were in such a small place, like right next to each other. Your next question is what were Mookie's motives, and are they clear? Mookie, who was obviously the main character, he was portrayed by Spike Lee. He was a delivery boy at Sal's Pizzeria, and for my opinion, I think Mookie's motives weren't really that clear, but I think from what I saw, he was definitely caught in two different spectrums. He wanted to obviously be loyal to his black community, and obviously to his job working for an Italian American, and he tries to what's the word? He tries to mediate. He tries to mediate the tensions between the two groups, but sadly, ultimately, ends up throwing a trash can through the window of Sal's Pizzeria, which ended up sparking a riot. And I really like how it was portrayed, how there was such conflict within the kin, because I'm sure that happened to a lot of people. You know, people who wanted to stay loyal to their family and to their culture, but they had to go do things. They didn't have to, but they ended up doing things that ended up hurting another culture or another person. And I think the phrase "do the right thing," from what I caught, I heard it referenced at least like 4 or 5 times, and then I was used in different contexts every single time, which is something I liked, because it never just meant the same thing. Because I think "do the right thing" is kind of based on opinion. You know, me doing the right thing can't be what someone else thinks is doing the right thing. For example, for some characters, it was standing up for their beliefs, even if it means resorting to violence, which we saw with the pizzeria and the riot. So people doing what's right in their eyes, when in other eyes that might be wrong. And then for some other characters that I saw, doing the right thing meant that finding a kind of a non-aggression, peaceful solution to conflict, and in order to kind of make sure that no community splits up and that everyone is united in that neighborhood. And then for some other characters that I saw, this one was very rare. It means accepting diversity and finding a way to peacefully coexist with everyone around you, and to find things that make everyone else happy. And I think that is what "do the right thing" meant in this movie. And for me, I think do the right thing means that to do something based on your beliefs, except if it gets too violent. I would never believe that violence is the solution to anything, and I never believe that you should ever trash a small business or anyone's lifestyle. That's how they live. That's how they make their money. So I believe that doing the right thing is believing in yourself and your beliefs, but never resorting to anything violent. And then going to your second set of questions, You asked, can Do the Right Thing be considered a form of protest? If so, how? How does it compare to rap music and rap music videos of the era as a social commentary? In my opinion, I believe that Do the Right Thing can be considered a form of protest. It's different from marching, but I like the idea that it's still, I think the whole thing about protest is you're trying to bring awareness to something. And I think this movie brought awareness to how it was to live in those neighborhoods and how bad it was. Like, for example, something that really kind of surprised me was that there was a certain tidbit of the movie where all the children, I believe it was mainly African American and Puerto Rican children, they broke a fire hydrant and they put a can on top of it and they were spraying water on everyone because it was just such a hot day. And I think that really brought awareness to me, at least, of how bad that situation was for them back then. And I think in comparison to rap music and rap music videos, I think it doesn't even touch rap music. You know, for me, I've listened to the NWAs, the Ice Cubes, the Dr. Dre's, the Tupacs, I've Biggie Smalls. I've listened and heard to all of those people, and only now have I ever heard of the movie Do the Right Thing. I think that they are both a protest and they both bring awareness to certain topics, but I think it's hard to compare to rap music and rap music videos of that era, just because those music is something that everyone listens to. You don't have to sit there for 2 hours and watch a movie to know that it is a protest. You could sit there for 3 to 4 minutes and listen to those lyrics and sink in with some of the stuff that they're saying. So I think that in comparison, it's not even close. Rap music and rap music videos are way more influential in any community, to be honest. It doesn't have to be the African American. There's some Mexican artists that me and my girlfriend listen to that talk about the gang problems and drug culture happening in Mexico right now. So I think that music is just so strong, and it's something that you don't even have to know the lyrics to some songs, and you could still vibe out to it and kind of get a rhythm for it. So I think that it doesn't compare at all. I think it is a good example of I think it is considered a form of protest, but I don't think it comes even close to being as great as rap music and rap music videos. And for the last question you asked us to answer was, today, can you think of examples of films or music videos or more relevant today visual albums performances that worked as both forms of protest and entertainment? And I'm gonna be looking to this monitor because I put up 3 specific examples. So if you don't mind, so obviously yes, there are many people who do it, and I think the most recent one that everyone can kind of know about is the film Get Out, which was directed by Jordan Peele. If you don't know, he's a comedian. He was famous on SNL and for having his own little YouTube show called Key and Peele. He's a really famous comedian. And basically, I'm just gonna read a little summary of it for you. Is that this film uses horror to expose the racism and prejudice in modern day America, and that I believe that this film tackles themes of cultural appropriation, white privilege, and systemic racism, and in a way that is also entertaining, but also causes you to think a little bit in the back of your head. Because there was many, I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but it was a super good movie. If you haven't watched it, I'd recommend going and watch it. But there's certain things that happen and certain scenes, but I won't say anything. I don't want to spoil it or say anything about it. But yeah, it was a really good movie, and I definitely think it fits the criteria of a film that does both entertainment and protest. It was so good, it got a second one. So I think that can attest to how good it was. And then another one we have, let me just click on it. Another one we have that I didn't even, well, this is also an obvious one. I'll get to my favorite one last. But another one we have is This Is America by Childish Gambino. If you've never watched this music video, it's so amazing. It does so much in such a small time span. It tells such a big story. And like I said earlier, a 4 to 5 minute music video has, in my opinion, made more of an impact than Get Out by Jordan Peele. Now, which one's better and higher production? The Jordan Peele Get Out movie. But the reason why that This Is American one is because there's so much lyrics in the music video. You can see so many things happening, and him bringing so much awareness just in a small amount of time. And so I think that's why music is a lot more easier for people to get on with than films. Anyways, let me continue. I'm just going to read a little summary of it for you. So this music video is a commentary on the state of America and its ongoing issues with gun violence. The video features violent imagery and symbolism, including shooting, police brutality, and societal distractions, which is just an amazing YouTube video. I actually did a book report about, not a book report, um, I think I did a project about about gun violence, and this is one of the things. Not a book report. I'm so sorry. I did a project about gun violence, and this was one of the things I brought up. And for the last one that I didn't even realize, we have a song by Beyonce in a music video called Formation, and this music video goes over and gives like kind of a visual eyesight for police brutality and racism in America. And then the video also features scenes of Beyonce and her dancers and in front of a police line in which there is a sinking police car with a "Stop Shooting Us" graffitied on it, which I think was just another example of entertainment and forms of protest. And I think that there's also a lot more forms of protest you can find in entertainment, like Black Panther, and another one, Lemonade by Beyonce, and there's so many others. And I think that, I like that we do that that people or artists can link things that they're really in love with, like their lyrics and their music, and they can attach it to such a bigger picture. And I think that that is what the world kind of needs, is for the big artists, the big celebrities to kind of feel with us, and to know that they're with us even though they're celebrities, and that they are on our side, and that they see the problems that we're seeing as well. I just want to say thank you for recommending this movie. I thought it was an amazing movie. I'm gonna recommend it to my brother. He likes movies like this. He likes that type of stuff. So I'm definitely gonna recommend it. And I appreciate you giving us such great assignments. I've so far really enjoyed the year in this class, and I hope to learn about more fun topics. Thank you.